Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to this is the Fix It Dragon video. So basically I'm going to show you how I fix all of these issues. And the reason why I'm doing this in a video is because Jacqueline sent me a message asking me if I could show her or show everyone how I fix things when they don't go right. And so that's what I'm going to do. And I didn't wipe these out because I wanted to show you again after I took these dragons out of the molds, how you know you're going to have bubbles when you brush mica powder on something. If you take the mold out and you have mica powder stuck in spots, then you're going to have bubbles. And so I had that in all three of the dragons. And it was my bad because I didn't go in and squish around all those places. So I'm just going to go through and show you on one dragon from start to finish how I do this. So basically what I did first was I went and took a paint pen, one of the Deco Color, because I'm using, these are all gold. So I went in and I painted in every one of those spots first because it's clear, you know, on the underside. And so we want this color to be dark. I colored his nose and his mouth and his eyes and his toenails already. So I'm already a step ahead. So, and I've got some UV resin mixed up here with the mica powder in it. And so I'm going to show you how I do this, and I want to make sure you guys can see this because it's very close-up, delicate type work, so I want to make sure you can see it. So basically you're going to turn your object upside down because you want to get right in there in that hole, and you're just going to take your UV resin and you're going to put it in there, and you're going to put it in there just level with that hole, and then just even it out. You don't want it to be above it because if you do that, then you're going to have a rounded what did I do with my flashlight? Oh, it's right here in front of me. I can't see it. You don't want it to be up because then you'll have this rounded. You want it to be level with whatever it is that you're doing. So it's kind of like you're building up a missing space. So that's what I did. I'm trying to get it to focus. That's what I did right there. So then once you fill it, then you just put your flashlight on it, cure it. And after looking at, you know, these dragons closer, I noticed there's just bubbles everywhere. I should have put this in my vacuum chamber, but see, this is the first time I've used the glue in the resin technique, and I'm not sure that that isn't what caused a lot of the bubbles. All right, so there's number one. And I've already put the gold behind him, so it's going to make it so that it's a little less noticeable behind him because the background behind him before was the clear. And then I'm going to show you how, because obviously UV resin is shiny, and when you put mica powder on something, it's matte. So I'm going to show you when we get done here in a second, when I fill these three, how to fix that so that they're not shiny, so that you can make them blend in better. And I have all my lights off in here except for my overhead lights because I wanted you guys to be able to see this. And I think with all of the lights on, it makes it a little harder to see. And I just use a Q-tip. If I go over, I just use a Q-tip and go in and take off the extra. Okay, so you have two choices to make these not shiny. And one is you can, Let's Resin has a pack that you can get. It's for sanding and shining up things that you have to sand down and stuff, and they have a couple of these in there. So you can use this and just lightly go over it, and it just kind of roughs up that UV resin so it's not so shiny. That's one way. If you want to do it that way. The other way is you can take your pen, your gold pen, and you can dot the gold on there like that, and then just dab it with your finger, and it just kind of blends it right in. And that's pretty much my preferred method because it's just easier. I just dab a little of the gold on there, and then I just use my finger and I just dab it right along that. That's what I do when I have gold. Now, if I don't have gold, you know, like on the paint pens, then, and I don't have a paint pen that matches what I'm using, then I will use the sanding method, or, well, most of the time when you're doing a correction, it's shiny, so you don't have to do anything to it. But it's only in instances where you have the matte finish from the mica powder. And see how that made it completely disappear? You can't even tell. So that's how I do those. That's the quick and easy way. Now I got to get this off my fingers so I don't spread it around on the dinosaur. It dries fairly quickly, and it doesn't usually come off once it's dry. Okay, so that's how I've done those, which, by the way, I need to color this one in down here because it's not, see how this was the bubble originally, so see how it's clear in the background? So when you go to put your UV resin on there, it's still going to remain clear. And if you just color it in with the gold pen, it's not going to be as noticeable. Just like that. Okay, so now we're going to go tip him upside down, and we're going to fill in these holes here. And we'll start, excuse me, down here at the bottom. And you can hold him out, you know, in front of you to see if you've got it full or not, because it'll round it off, is what it does. It just rounds it off. Now, he's supposed to have 2 horns right here. So one of them is just missing the very tip. So that one will be easy to fix, but the other one will have to build up. So, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Can't use gold on those. Gotta use clear. Gotta use clear. 1 second. Getting a little carried away here. Okay, got to use clear. So I'm going to set the gold off to the side here. And we're going to use clear. Okay, so with the clear, we're going to have to build up his horn. So we're going to do basically the same identical thing, except we're going to have to do a couple layers to get the horn back up to where it's supposed to be. Thank goodness this one only just has just the top missing. The other side, I think we're going to have a couple layers. And the same way with the back of his wings. His wings are also missing the top. All right, so now you can see that his horn is back up where it needs to be. So now this one we're going to have to do, I think, a couple of layers to get it back up. So we'll start with the first layer here. and then we'll build on top of that. Okay, now we'll go in with our next layer. I'm going to turn this direction. Hopefully you guys can see this a little better. And that is our next layer. And then we'll have to do one more, I think. Yep, one more. I can't tell. Can you guys see this? I'm trying to make sure y'all can see it. Okay, one more. And now his horns are back. All right, there's one bubble right there underneath his ear, so we'll fill that in. And same on the other side. Yep, right there. It's kind of like sculpting in a way, but with wet product. Okay, now the tips of his wings, same thing, like the horns. We'll start with a base. And then his wings are just a little rounded and then pointed out like that. Just like that. Okay, same thing on the other side. And then just a little tiny bit more. Just trying to see if there was anything else. His ears are fixed, his horns are fixed, his whatever you call them things. What are these things called? Scales? So see, his little things are fixed, his horns are fixed, those are all fixed. His toes fixed, these are fixed. So on the bottom here, I'm going to show you what you can do to fix this if you wanted to. I mean, it's not really a necessity because it'll be on the bottom, but I'll show you what I do. I just dip my finger in there and I just rub that in there in those holes. Real good. Just pressing it all down inside there. Till they're all filled. Just like that. Then I wipe my finger off and I use my get any bubbles I created. And so that's how I fix all those little holes like that. And you can do that anywhere on his body, hands, face, wherever. And now you can see they're fixed. So you could do that, you know, here. You could do it under his chin, you know, wherever you wanted them to be fixed. So I've got everything that's majorly needed to be fixed. The only thing I was going to do was fix my gold over here because I got too much gold down here on his toenail, and I don't think it'll come off now, but I'm going to try. Some people always say, oh, it'll just wipe off with alcohol. No, that's not the case. At least not these pins anyway. Because they're permanent. So I got a little carried away with my ink. And I don't know what else to take them off with. But anyway, so that is how you fix things that go wrong when you have bubbles like that. I was going to use my pen here to go over these and just dab them to blend them in. So that you can't see them versus sanding them. Suppose you could probably use a Q-tip too. Keep sliding off of it. Pretty simple. And they're all fixed. There he is, all complete. Horns, ears, wings, toe, front of his chest, and I had already painted his toenails in the corner of his eyes, his nose, his mouth, and his toenails. So he is complete. And I'd already fixed the other two, so I'll show you them. They're all fixed. I fixed their wings, ears, horns, chest, and then all of the spaces on their back. These didn't have quite as many bubbles. And then I used my, did I do that on this one? Nope, I need to do that on this one. My deburring tool on the bottom is how I get rid of the extra on the bottom. Just like that. And then I just use a file and file it just like that, if there's any sharp edges. And then I just wipe it off. And so that's how I fix the bottom, so that it's not sharp. So that's what good grief, stop sticking to me. And so that's what I did on the green one, and I painted their eyes in. And then the purple one, same thing, fixed all of his spine things, his ears, his horns, his chest. That's really all he had wrong with him. And then I cut the bottoms off and did his toenails, his nose, and his mouth. So they are all three fixed. Put them all three up here so you can see them. And that is the Hear No Evil, Speak No Evil, See No Evil dragons, all fixed and repaired. There you go, guys. That's my tutorial on how to fix things when they don't go right. Jacqueline, let me know what you think. If this is what you were thinking or not, whatever, let me know. If I run across any other things that need to be fixing, I will explain to you how I fix those. So that way you guys know what I do when I run into things that don't go right. All right, that's it, guys. Thanks for coming in with me on the Fix It tutorial. And we'll move on to the next video. Bye, guys. Have a great evening. Bye.